All right, welcome back to the Gamble Smart channel. Mark here. Happy Tuesday morning to everybody out there. Hope you're doing well. And today's tip is all about what slot machine should you play when you go into the casino. And it largely depends on what kind of player you are. And so we're going to cover that today and give you some tips on what to look out for the next time you're in the casino. Let's get started. And welcome back, and as always, if you are new here, we certainly welcome you. We do these daily tips, tricks, and education every single day of the week, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time. We would love for you to join us, so make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications because we do go live from time to time unannounced, and we would love to have you there. So today's topic is all about what kind of slot machine should you play. When you go into the casino, you are inundated with choices, right? Some casinos are really big, like WinStar. You got 40, 60,000 machines. Don't quote me on that. It's probably even more than that. Lots to choose from. So how do you know what to play? Are they all the same? Do they all play the same? And the answer is no, they do not. Game designers design games to play out differently, and it's something that you need to look out for when you're playing a game. And so what we're going to do is go down the row here. I have 4 machines behind me here in my home casino. And they are all different in the ways that they pay out. And I want to teach you a little bit about what each of them does and what to look out for. Okay, so the buzzword that we're going to use here is called volatility. And essentially what volatility is when it comes to slot machines is how the machine is going to pay over time, okay? So you have machines that are low in volatility and high in volatility. If they are low in volatility, you can expect to get a lot of short-term play out of it, meaning that you're gonna, get some hits here and there, a cherry, a mixed bar, something that just keeps you going. Those are typically found in lower volatility games, but in exchange for those rapid hits, you're giving up the big progressives, the big paying bonus rounds, that kind of stuff, okay? So it's less risk. So we always recommend with low volatility, that is the place to start when you first get into the casino, because you want a bankroll build before you start pushing your luck on the other end of that scale. So low volatility, think about less risk, less reward. High volatility, much more risk, much more reward, potentially. Okay, that's the big word there. So here's an example here. Triple double diamond free games. This is probably one of my go-tos for low volatility play. It's great for bankroll building. They're usually found in a lot of casinos at penny denominations, so you can bet fairly low and you'll get to see a lot of action on the game. And what I mean by action is that a lot of the spins, you'll actually get some kind of hit, like I got here. Now, it may not necessarily be your full bet back, but over time, you will slowly start to build up in most situations on games like this, because you're going to get a lot of action for what you're spinning. But games like this also do not have big giant progressives and big bonus rounds that pay a lot, okay? So that is the exchange. You play this game if you want to just have slow and steady, try to build your bankroll up, and then move on down the line to push your risk. So let's get on to the next one. All right, so we're moving on down the line here, and I am at a top dollar, specifically a double top dollar here. And that is the type of game that is a little bit higher than the triple double free games that we just played, but still kind of low to medium when it comes to volatility, okay? So if you're the type of person that likes to push your risk just a little bit more, top dollar, pinball, those types of games are probably best fit for you. It could be a while before you get a bonus round, and some of the bonus rounds stink. If you've ever played double top dollar, you get a lot of 15 and 10 credit offers sometimes. It's because of the volatility of the game. But you do have potential of getting much bigger wins on this than you do on the triple double diamond free games. But the exchange is infrequent bonus, and also just a lot of the bonus rounds are just not very lucrative, okay? So that's the trade-off. There's always a trade-off. Even though both of these games have the same payback percentage setting, the way that they get to that payback percentage in the end is much different path, okay? You have slow and steady. Think about it just like this, just a wave. Win some, lose some, win some, lose some. Where this is more like lose some, lose some, lose some, win some, lose some, lose some, win some. So think about just raising the risk a little bit, but in exchange, it's going to be a little tough sometimes to get that bonus to hit. So that is a low to mid volatility game. Now let's move on down the line and get really risky now. All right, so I know you guys were eyeing it on the other end of the line here, but yeah, huff and more puff, we're talking high volatility here, okay? This is high risk, high reward type game. You can go a long time, excruciatingly long time without getting the bonus. But in general, when you do get the bonus on this game, they are pretty good. Not always, but they are pretty good. And so this game is built for the bonus. The line hits are terrible. The frequency of the bonus is terrible. But again, that is the exchange. Even though this has the same payback percentage as the other two that we talked about in this video, the way that it gets there is much different. There's a lot of flatlining and then, you know, big jumps like that, because the bonus rounds are so lucrative, and this has a bunch of progressives attached to it, okay? So what is the story about all of this? How do you know which one of these three to pick? Well, you need to evaluate yourself and determine what kind of player you are first. If you always like to play risky and go for the gusto, try to get the best possible win, then play something, my elbow hit it. Wouldn't it be funny if it got the bonus on that? Don't do the accidental bets. But anyway, you know, if you do like to play for the gusto and you want to go for, you know, the big progressives and the really exciting the bonus rounds and stuff like that, then this is your game. It is. This is a good, exciting game. Lots of excitement, but just be very, very careful with this one, because, gosh, man, it can be a long time before you can get the bonus. And this is one that you really got to watch out for, especially on YouTube, because a lot of people just post the bonus rounds, right? You're not seeing the other side of it, which is a lot of dead spins, and that's what's to be expected on a game like this, okay? So, to wrap things up, let's talk about when to play each of those. So maybe you don't really know who you are. You don't know which bucket you fit into. Here is our recommendation on this channel. When you get to the casino, you should always start with the lowest volatility game that you can find, okay? Go for the low risk, low reward type game. These are the double diamonds, triple stars, triple diamond, sizzling sevens, these types of games that, you know, don't have a lot of multipliers, don't have really big wins, and certainly don't have progressives. These are the ones that you want to build your bankroll up on, okay? And you also will generate a lot more comps, because your coin in is going to be a little bit higher on these games because of the churn of you winning some and losing some and winning some and losing some, okay? There's a lot of activity. And it's also a way to kind of get you excited, get you into the mode when you're in a casino. So always start with those. If you do well, let's say you double your money, or maybe turn your, you know, $100 into $150. Then you can start to move on up the line a little bit and push that risk, but only do it on the winnings that you had from the low volatility game, okay? So only do it on that. So if let's say you make it all the way up to this big boy, and you're like, I'm ready to push my risk on here because I turned $100 into 300 on a low volatility game. That's great, but just play the 200, your winnings only. And after you do that, go all the way back and start again at the lower volatility game and build up again, and then go push your risk, okay? Is this all starting to make sense? I hope so, because every game is a little bit different inside of the casino, and you really have to be able to spot, you know, what it is that you're up against. And the best way to do that, honestly, for me, is to watch a lot of live streams. Watch people playing these games in a live environment where they can't edit it, and you can get a good idea of the frequency of the bonus and how well the bonus pays, that type of thing. It's valuable information, so that you know when you see this machine, you know what to expect before you sit down and start playing it and spending your money on it, right? All right, so I know we're going to generate a lot of questions about volatility and which games and all that. I gave you some examples today, but we will have more in-depth videos a little bit later about what to look out for, like specifically, what do you look for on a game? And we will have some videos like that. But later on today, we want to give you a little bit of a tip or a strategy that you can use based on what type of game that you're playing. So if you're playing a low volatility game, we have a strategy for that. If you're playing a high volatility game, we have a strategy for that. So we have a demonstration video coming out later today that we did at WinStar with Dave, and it's going to be a lot of fun, but also you're going to get to see what it is that we do and how we tackle each of these types of games. All right? As always, guys, thank you so much. We certainly wish you well and good luck out there. And as always, gamble smart, gamble safe. We'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday's tip. Take care. Bye-bye.